Well, hello, Wendy Reid. Welcome to
Hi.
the resurrection of the fireside chat. That is not any other type of resurrection. We don't touch religious subjects much, unless you want to bring it up. That's fine. But yeah, it's the reason why I call it the resurrection because I was watching who's the guy Dexter. And the last series
Yeah.
was called The Resurrection. So I thought, oh yeah, I'll resurrect the fireside chat from what I used to do back in the day. Anyway, let's just tell me about what you've been doing, what you're doing now. Who are you working for now?
eBay.
And what are you doing at eBay?
My on paper, I am a senior product manager
Which
of
means,
accessibility,
uh-huh,
which means that in theory, I'm a product manager. I think the better way to describe it is that I'm an accessibility subject matter expert that works with everyone and
right.
occasionally has a project or two.
Oh, it sounds okay. So you're a lone wolf, so to speak.
Not a lone wolf. We're a team of four.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay. And just
yeah.
who are the other people working? Anybody that I know?
Aiden Tierney, who also is
Oh,
in Toronto with me, Marco
yeah,
Cole, and Gautam Panetta. So
yeah. I don't know the last. I've heard of Aiden. I think I've met Aiden. I'm sure I've met Aiden actually, but I, but I'm really bad at remembering people and names. I know I met you before. At the last time, what? I can't remember if I talked to you at the TPAC in Anaheim. Were you there in the TPAC in
I
Anaheim?
was at the CPAC in Anaheim.
Yeah. Well,
Last
yeah. I
time I
didn't.
saw you in person was at LETO last year.
Ah, yes, yes, of course. But the time that I remember was at the TPAC in south of Spain, where it was.
Oh, Seville.
Seville, yes. Yeah, I've got, those people going in the pool and I've got pictures of various people. I actually had a picture of Charles on previously when I talked to Mike Smith, who you may also know. Now, can you tell me, were you a member of the tag at one point?
I was not a member of the tag. I was a member of the advisory board.
Ah, okay. Because for some reason, I thought you remember, and it's just stuck in my head. That was me. So the W3C advisory board, what does that mean to be a member of that?
It's a great question. um, I mean, so the advisory board is an elected body from W3C. It's elected by the advisory committee, so all the representatives of the individual companies that are members or groups that are members. The advisory board, I would say, is similar to the tag in that they oversee and manage like processes within W3C.
Oh,
The
okay.
difference is like the advisory board is like the governance process, occasionally squishy parts of W3C, whereas the tag gets to do the nice technical, you know,
Yeah,
difficult work. And yeah, like the advisory board, they oversee the process, they oversee the vision, the code of conduct,
gotcha,
stuff like
gotcha.
that.
The important stuff, but the more sort of administrative aspects. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Did you have fun when you were doing that? Was it a time of your life you will look back and say, "Hey, I really enjoyed being on the advisory board"?
I'm glad I did it. It definitely was a lot harder than I expected it to be. Um, I was chair for some reason at the same like of the advisory board as
Everybody else
well, which
stepped
I think
backwards, and yeah,
kind of that's maybe a really good way to describe it. Um, and I think like that added extra challenges that I didn't even think about because it's not, I think, intended this way, but when you become the chair, you also end up accidentally kind of becoming the face of the
oh,
group.
yeah,
You're like the first line of contact. And in some ways, that's fine. And in other ways, like it's not, because then you become accountable for things. I also think like it was an interesting, it's an amazing group of people, but it's always managing personalities,
Yeah.
and that comes with its own challenges.
Yeah. I mean, I was, I let off a bit of steam after a recent a accessory guidelines working group meeting, just because I get frustrated because I've gone back to the working group after sitting out for an extended period. But and we're now working on WCAG 3 mainly, as well as up doing the WCAG 2 stuff, which is updating all the thousands of documents. And Pat's doing it, as you may know, Patrick
Mhm.
Lauker is the lord of the backlog. I don't know what they call him, but anyway, he does lord it over people, that's for sure. But yeah, he's doing that. But yeah, so anyway, I sort of sounded off, not, I just said I was frustrated essentially on LinkedIn and but then I came back just straight after and said, I didn't say anything nasty. I just said it was annoying me that, because I sit there for 2 hours a week, just like a bit like you
Yeah.
sitting there, listening to me when we're supposed to be talking. Yeah, sorry. I'll um I'll get back to what was I trying to say? So anyway, yeah. But then what I in a comment I made almost immediately afterwards said the chairs, which are Alistair, um, Campbell, Adam Page now, and Rachel Bradbury. That's a, that's a name, Brad. See, maybe she's got a double barrel name.
Bradley Montgomery, I think it's
That's
Michelle Bradley
it. Yeah,
Montgomery. Yeah, she has an intensely impressive name. I love it.
yeah. And I was calling her Rachel Bradbury, sounds like some mix between Ray Bradbury, the author. Sorry, I'm really bad. I'm really bad with names. Anyway, so yeah, so it can be frustrating when I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's damn hard work, and it's not something I would do because I'd just be telling people to fuck off. And that really doesn't go down well, and it wouldn't be appropriate. Um,
I have immense respect for the chairs of AgWig as someone
yes,
who
yes,
attempts to go to meetings. I have been a bit absent lately just because of scheduling, but also I think maybe some similar frustration that others experience with being in the meetings too frequently.
yeah.
Um, and but I have like immense respect for the chairs because that
Oh
it is
yeah,
not an easy group to manage.
no,
And I chair other working groups, and like I it is a lot of work to, I think, manage personalities, make sure everyone feels heard and respected, but also like manage sometimes people who maybe have a slightly inflated view of their
yeah.
own
Their
of
own
their like their
importance.
own
Yeah,
yeah. And you
yeah.
don't want them to feel disrespected, but you also want to make sure that other people uh, get a chance to present themselves and
Ah, so
don't feel
so is
overwhelmed.
that backhanded at me being someone who thinks that I'm more important than I am? Is that what you're saying? No, no, no. I don't.
No.
I mean, I just tend to listen a lot when I'm there,
Yeah.
but on the odd occasion, I when I wanted to say something, the oxygen in the room was taken up by others. So
Hmm.
so that I became frustrated with that because you sit in one of these meetings for hours and you think finally if I don't have anything to say I won't say it, but lots of people seem to, or some people seem to have a comment about every single thing, which anyway, yeah, it can be
I
frustrating.
I think an essential thing about and this is like standards in general, not just accessibility, but like literally any standard, is having the self-awareness to know whether you have an opinion on something or you have a contribution to it.
Yes,
Because
yes,
like it's so easy to have opinions.
yeah,
And we're all like I don't think we would be in standards if we weren't opinionated and like thoughtful about what we do.
yeah,
But it is like sometimes telling the difference between like, wait, am I having an do I have an opinion about this, or do I actually have something to say that is going to like further the conversation?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people forget that that's the aim is to get things done rather than to anyway. But yeah, people could be come across really aggressively in standards discussions as well. I I'm one of the editors of the WCAG EM, which is the evaluation methodology. It's not a specification as such; it's a no trade document. But uh, on that, somebody became quite adamant and overly aggressive in one of the comments in one of the issues, and I didn't deal with it. I shied away. I looked away, but no. But that was, yeah. Unfortunately, that caused upset. So it's yeah. I try to avoid doing that these days.
Hmm. I mean, it's really hard in this world, because even that like desire to make people feel that they're respected and listened to, sometimes it still means that you have to say, "Hey, thank you for your comments, but we're not going to be
Yeah,
doing anything with this,"
yeah,
or, "Thank you for that contribution, but we're not going to be adding it." And or like, "That's a really great feature suggestion. We don't have space in this version or this iteration
yeah.
to
But some
include
people,
that."
that's okay if people understand that. But then sometimes
Yeah.
in this case, the person just
Yeah.
wanted the change, and even though we agreed with it, we said we're going to have to take some time. But no. But
Hmm.
anyway, that's the yeah. I'm sure I was like that at some point.
I think we probably have all been like that.
Yeah,
There's definitely been, that's the thing. It's like we all care so much. We're all like, I say like, as much as I want everyone to be participate in standards and for everyone to have a seat at the table, I do think there is like a particular personality or uh like neurotype that is drawn to
well,
standards.
there's lots of
And
weirdos at TPAC. I can say that much. I mean, myself
yeah,
myself included. But
both of us included, exactly.
yeah, so it's sort of like, and it can be the what can I say? It it can be not antisocial, but it's difficult to socialize. I find it difficult to socialize with people at TPAC in particular because there's lots of people that are just yeah. And also, I must admit that if it's based in somewhere in the States, I'm usually smoking some weed. So, or
I mean,
Canada.
whatever gets you through. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the next AC meeting is going to be in Halifax, which I think is uh, I'm not on the AC, so,
Uh,
jealous of everyone else who gets to go to Halifax.
so are you still, you are still involved in W3C working groups. Is eBay a member of the W3C?
Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm hoping. But right now I'm an invited expert.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, I can say I did most of my best work when I was an invited expert. So,
Hmm.
but simply because at the time TPG didn't have the money to become a member. They did eventually, but yeah, I was an invited expert. Didn't really clip my wings, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, so eBay, I think somebody else who used to work at eBay did Dennis Lembry. Do you know Dennis?
I don't, because I'm relatively new. I've only been
He
there.
doesn't work
It'll
there
be a year,
anymore.
and
He works at GitHub
yeah.
now. But yeah, I just remember I thought that Dennis was work. There was a few people that worked at eBay through the years. And so, how do you find the culture at eBay?
It's really good. I was kind of surprised. So I came from like a much smaller company where I spent like my basically my whole career. Um, and I was used to working with like 400 people, knowing most everyone's names and, kind of being able to be on top of everything that was going on.
Yeah,
Um, and to like obviously a much bigger organization with a lot more people in a lot more places. Um,
Yeah, I
and
mean, how
yet
many people
like
work at eBay? It must be tens
uh
of thousands worldwide.
yeah, it's I was trying to look up this number because I was curious. I think there's like, but it's like there's like I think something like 12,000 like full-time employees, but then we also have like contractors and people around the world and like various other capacities. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
probably
huge.
tens of thousands. Um, but yeah, just like going to that change in scale, um, not having like not knowing everyone, not knowing anyone
Yeah.
except for really my own team. Um, that was a big adjustment, but people are friendly. I really like there's a lot of good value, like especially around giving back to the community
Oh, that's
and,
good. Sorry,
community participation. I
I'm
love it.
not I'm not losing interest. It's just that my daughter's asking me to get food for her, so I'm just
Fair.
telling her that once I won't be. Yeah, just give me a sec.
No worries. Don't worry.
Finished after. Yeah, my daughter's upstairs gaming, and she. Yeah. Anyway, I go down the road and get a chicken katsu. That's one of my
This one's pretty good.
tasks for the day. Yeah. So so when you said you used to work at a smaller place, so 400 people is still big to me. I
Hmm.
know it's not big in terms of, of companies in, large companies. But yeah, I found when TPG started to grow and then got merged with Vispero, and then suddenly it grew. There was hundreds of people instead of 15 of us. That was a big shock. So I can imagine that going into a situation where you're essentially, not a cog in the machine, but you're a much smaller fish in a bigger pond.
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely I think the biggest change was just like, I mean, it's also the part of being in a new company, not knowing who to talk to
Yeah,
about like, oh, I have a question about this. But then it was like this, I think I was joking with a friend that like one of the scale problems was that like when I was at Kobo, my previous employer, there were like less than 10 product managers. And so if I had a question about something, I knew, oh, I just got to go talk to this person.
yeah,
But now it's like, oh, I have a question about this page. I got to find out who to talk to. And they're like, oh, there's like 5 or 6 different product managers because there's someone for this section and there's someone for that section. And the pop-up that appears here, that's someone else.
yeah,
And it's
right.
like, wait, what?
Coordination. So
This is complicated.
do you work on a particular part of the eBay site, or do you just get drawn in?
Everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Everything worldwide. We consult on everything. We work on the site, we work on the apps. Um, we try our best to, be as available as possible for teams to help them, you know, make good decisions about
So what's the state
accessibility.
of eBay accessibility across their various platforms?
It's good. It, I mean, like anyone knows, like there's always room for improvement. But the program has been around for a long time, and there are like something I think that really impressed me when I arrived was just how many like the team is small, but we have a lot of champions. There's a lot of people that are like embedded in teams that are really passionate about accessibility,
Well, that's great.
and so they advocate for us and they help, and they ask the right questions, and it helps a lot. Like there's still things that happen. There's still, of course, big company, new people join all the time and, they don't know about accessibility. And so you have to kind of build
Yeah,
that knowledge up as you find it. But um like it's like one of the best integrations I found was like eBay has a fairly centralized design system, and the design system people are very interested in accessibility. And so every team inevitably goes to them to be like, "Hey, I need to do this. How do I do it?" And they're like, "That's great. Here's how to do it design wise. You should be talking to the accessibility team to find out if like there's any usability issues or pitfalls that you are unknowingly walking into."
oh, that's cool. And do you
Mhm.
have people with disabilities on staff who test stuff?
We have a couple different ways to do it. So there are like people internally, but they're just doing their regular day jobs. We don't
Yeah.
rely on them for testing. We have a vendor that we use that does our auditing and like does testing called Applause. They coordinate like usability studies and fast feedback and things like that, where they talk to people with disabilities and get their feedback. Um, mhm.
What I will do now to yeah, this is where things start to become complicated. No, I'm going to share the fire your rose gallery. So, and I'm hoping you can see it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I can see it.
excellent. So, first on the left, now, if you can work out who this person is, I'll
Oh my gosh,
he's that. I'll explain why I've got these because I was trying to get I do t-shirts and things like that and other web accessibility and standard stuff. This is the mascot of HTMLZ, who also happens to be a very good friend of mine, and well, his head at least. Um, can you work out who that is? Remember what I
his head
told
is so
you?
small. I know you, and my brain immediately was like, oh, he told me. And then
Yeah,
like whatever that sound is, Mac OS
it's
makes me send an
he's
email.
that's Doc Swallow, and
Ah, it's also like all I see is like sunglasses and hair.
yeah, that's actually a picture of his like he's got a bike helmet on. I've actually got a picture of him standing with the wearing the t-shirt with this coming from and standing exactly the same pose. So I should have showed you that, but um,
It's
I
very good.
didn't. Yeah, but what I was thinking was that a way to sort of like bring in the sponsorship that HTML provides to the fireside chat into the actual thing. So that's why I'm
Mhm.
using pictures from. So you can buy that T-shirt, um, but also whenever you buy something, you get a picture of that in black and white. So um, next up, so that's Doc Swallow.
Mhm.
He's a very good friend of mine. He works at TPGI, highly respected more UX but he did a PhD on web accessibility at the University of York. So I'm looking forward to seeing him next month along with everybody else. Next up, do you can you is it too small for you?
A little bit, but I'm like, oh
This
gosh.
this head. He thinks he's better than he is. He's heavily involved in he's involved in the Wake Active backlog. He's also Pointer Events editor and chair of the Pointer Events working group. Man about town. You'll know him. I'm sure you've met him.
I
Patrick.
probably
Uh,
have.
Patrick.
Is that Patrick? I was like, it looks like Patrick, but then it also doesn't. But it also might
Yeah.
just be a
Well,
distorted picture.
it was this is another T-shirt that I made. It's called WCAG 2.2 Party People, and that is Patrick in the middle of his party people. I
He looks so relaxed, you know?
yeah, that's we call it. Yeah, I won't say what we call him there, but he does. He's got a particular look on his face. So that's Patrick. And what I will say is, Doc Swallow. One of the things I'm doing when I'm up in York is getting him on the fireside chat. So I'm looking forward to that. Patrick was the first person I did on the fireside chat. Next up,
It's
the
Adrian.
yeah, everybody knows Adrian. Um, I people call him a mug. I don't know why. Um, sorry, that was a bad joke. because he's on a mug, the mug you can buy from HMLZ. Uh, next up,
It would be
whoa.
embarrassing if I didn't know Lanny.
Yes. Well, this is actually there was a picture from last time when I was talking with Mike Paciello. There was a picture of Leonie with Deborah Rapsis, who was one of our bosses at TPG, and her daughter who did the HR cake. But I just cropped them out because I thought you would not know them. So
Mhm.
there's Leonie. It was just a really nice photo of the three of them smiling. It was in Orlando 8 years ago. Uh, Bottom left.
Shadi.
Yeah, Shardy. Everybody knows Shardy. I mean,
He's a legend. I love
he is.
Shadi.
I was, I was, I was surprised that when I was talking to Mike, because I was surprised that Mike came up with the name Web Accessory Initiative, which sounded like some BS when he said it, but then there's a history of Way or early history of Way written by Danielle Dardier, who was, I don't know if he still works at the W3C, but he was there for years. And there's a document that talks about the history of the Way, and it includes the uh, the fact that the Way name came from him discussing it with Mike. So
Mhm.
it's amazing what you learn.
Oh yeah.
Um, and yeah, so what I was going to say was that Shardy. I didn't realize that Shardy was there so early on as well, but he was
Oh
apparently,
yeah. He's one
yeah,
of the originals, you know?
one of the originals. He's still very original. Um,
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to chatting to him in the coming months. Uh,
Nice.
Next person.
That's Matthew Atkinson.
Everybody knows Matthew, don't they? Look, I don't
Because
know.
he's the best. I love Matthew as well. I mean, everyone here is amazing. But Matthew, like, was so happy when he got elected or selected for the or elected to the tag because finally we had like a strong accessibility voice
Yeah, yeah.
um, in
I
the
know
right
that it's
place.
great. I mean, you probably know I worked with him for years, and I think I even managed him at one point. Not yeah, yeah, mismanaged. That's my modus operandi. But I think that since he's got involved with the W3C and he's chair of the APA, System Platform Architecture's co-chair with Yanina, and now he's on the tag as well. He's just found his element. He's found his people. Yeah. Every time I see like a TPAC or whatever, he's beaming. Just like
Mhm.
I mean, he's a very smiley person anyway. He's a really nice guy. Uh, Next person.
It's Billy.
Yeah, I thought you might know Billy because you. Well, I wasn't sure because do you know a woman by the name of or person by the name of Shell Little?
Yes.
Yes. Now I for some reason because I'd only ever seen her in Accessory TO and when I went to Canada, I presumed that she was Canadian, but she's not apparently.
No, but I mean, the LATO community is small but active,
Yeah, it's just
and
yeah.
Billy's at
Uh,
the center of it. So,
Yeah, Billy's that the black hole at the center of the accessory TO community. I'm actually because I love going to accessory TO, and I do plan on going this year if the airfare prices aren't too high. But I've been working well. Billy and I are trying to cook up some sort of form of fireside shorts where that we have, like an event. You know how they have event nights where people come along and just talk about stuff. And so
mhm.
we'll see how far that goes. But hopefully, give me a good excuse to attend.
You should.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll definitely. I mean, I, I'll come along regardless. but it's just nice to have something to do as well. Um, I attended the Meet the Tag session in London a month or
Oh,
two ago. Now,
yeah,
yeah, you see, because I was going to say, oh, you were on the tag, but you obviously weren't. You're on
I
the
was
advisory
not.
board.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this, well, not inflated, but I mean, I had this opinion of you as being a real brainiac. So that's probably why I thought you were part of the tag.
I
But
mean, it's the most flattering assumptions anyone has ever made because
oh,
everyone on the tag is so smart.
yeah, it's
To be associated with them is an honor.
yes, yeah, it is. I mean, I caught up with Brian Cardell. Do you know Brian Cardell?
I
Yeah, I
do.
was
Yeah.
I was really surprised. Well, wasn't really surprised, but I was surprised that he was on the tag. Oh, I'm glad he was on the tag. He's made it onto the tag, but I always like I've said it before. I always say because I always saw him at TPAX over the years, and he was like a real political operator. Um, he's the thinker as well. I recently was reading his thoughts on the priority of constituencies, which is an
Hmm.
interesting take. He's coming on over the next month or two, so I'll be talking to him. But it was really nice to see because I've known Brian for quite a few years and always seen him at TPACs and things like that. So, but I'm really glad that he's landed at Igalia. Igalia? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it seems like a perfect place for him. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, so that's well, I won't go through because I don't know most of them, but I do know. Well, I do know Lola Ojalola, um, who is on the tag, and part of we help support her as in Tetralogical supports
Hmm.
her on the tag. So um, you know, our bit doing our bit as well as Leonie being everywhere at the W3C, wherever
Oh
you
yeah.
look. Yeah, which is great. But I would, the people I've been associated with or worked with have always been involved in stuff at the W3C, always, as you know, which I think is really, which is really positive because it's always about thinking about what's coming next, you know,
Yeah.
in standards, in web standards in particular. So, question for you, I'll get rid of this now. Um, I'll stop share. There we
I'm
go.
glad I wasn't asked to try and name everyone on the tag currently because I don't
Well,
know if I could
no,
do that.
I thought that if you had been on the tag, that you may know some of them, but
I would
also,
know. No.
yeah, their pictures really, their photos are really small, and while I was there, I didn't stay for the whole period, um, for the whole thing. I
Hmm.
took some pictures and buggered off home because it was late.
Yeah.
Well, it was in London. It took me an hour and a half to get, well, not an hour and a half. It took me an hour. Anyway, so question for you in regards to the WCAG 3 or just the WCAG in general. What are your thoughts about how it's used to test native applications and e-readers and things like that, as well as web interfaces?
Uh, uh, it makes me wish that the user agent accessibility guidelines took off. Because I mean, credit to like everyone who worked on WCAG 2 and everyone working on WCAG 3 that it is even possible that we're able to extend a lot of the success criteria to things
Yeah.
like mobile apps and like hardware devices like
Yeah.
e-readers. But there are definitely some like huge challenges with like you're doing a lot of reading in between the lines. You're doing a
Yeah.
lot of like, well, I'm going to extrapolate out of this the like desired end goal
Yeah.
and fill the blanks in for that, because some things are easy to like to map, and other things it's like, okay, this software behaves completely differently than, or this hardware behaves completely differently
Yeah.
from the like from the web, or from your kind of standard web browser interface. I think it's easier for things like mobile apps because the patterns of interaction are very similar,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of like through carryover. It was definitely like, before I left Kobo, it was one of my last projects, was trying to like test EN301549 against an e-reader device,
Right.
and trying to think of like, okay, well, like, how do we take this requirement and apply it to this device? What does it mean for a screen reader to work on
Yeah.
a device that does not have a keyboard?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
these very how do we build a touch interface? Like, it's like most e-readers are touch interfaces. It's like, okay, do we use kind of the same affordances that a mobile device use? Do we need new ones? Do we, how do we do this? How does this make sense?
It's always a challenge. So, did you leave before you finished completing the project?
Yes, I let so they were in the midst of a lot of the work. When I was leaving, was we had kind of nailed down how we were going to test. It was actually building the features and actually getting them in a place that they were functional. And I haven't actually seen them functional.
Well, it's always something to look forward to. So, can I ask you this? So, did you leave Kobo because you wanted to expand? I mean, what was the motivation for leaving? It's okay. You don't need to say, "Oh, well, I got sacked" or whatever. But I don't know. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it was I didn't get sacked, I'll say that. I left of my own volition. I One of the things that I really wanted, so like I started and led the program at Kobo, which was an incredible opportunity, an incredible experience. But the entire time, I, you have imposter syndrome because you're like trying to learn everything. And luckily, I had amazing people in my circle that
yeah,
like made that a lot easier. At the same time, like, I had to teach myself how to run an accessibility program for a software company that had multiple products in multiple countries, and had to become that expert. And it was a lot of pressure. And the entire time, I really wanted to be able to learn from someone else. And I had even at one point proposed to my bosses to say, hey, what if we hired a boss for me? Like, what if we had hire like a manager of accessibility or a director of accessibility, someone who has much more experience than I do
yeah.
and can like take this to the next level? And they were like, that did not fly, because it was like, well, you want how much money to do this? Um, and so like eventually I just kind of reached a point where I was like, I really wanted to learn and build my
And
career.
that's what you're finding at eBay.
Yeah, I'm actually the most junior person in my team at eBay, and it's really nice. I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying it. There was also definitely like friction around, what I wanted from the program and what the company wanted from the program.
From in
Um,
Kobo, you mean? Yeah.
yeah, or like what we were willing to do. Like, I really wanted us to be like a leader in reading accessibility. I thought it was an opportunity for us to really stand out even more against our big competitors.
Yeah.
And some people agreed, and other people were like, but these things are hard to implement. Can we just do, you know,
Yeah. The minimum. Yeah.
the,
Oh God. Um, so that was Kobo and then now eBay, and you're involved at the W3C. So what, I mean, what do you do, when you're not doing this stuff? I mean, what do you have hobbies? Do you have a life?
What are those? Ugh.
Yeah.
I I even have less of a life than usual because I am also actually literally this week I am wrapping up my uh final project for my master's degree.
Oh
I'm
wow.
doing the Masters of Inclusive Design at OCAD University here in Toronto. So on Wednesday I have to submit my my final project.
Cool.
Um,
Good luck
so
with
I've
that.
even
I'm sure you'll
less
be fine.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
Th-
less like time than usual
Is that the
because I
university that's downtown?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because usually I stay at least part of the time at the Rex, which is on Queen Street, and then you walk
yes.
up from there, and there's I've got some nice pictures of interesting architecture they have there.
Yeah, the OCAD building is that very odd building on stilts.
Yep,
It's actually
yep,
quite close to the Rex. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
OCAD campus.
yeah. I know it's got
Yeah.
those. Yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Um,
hmm
so how? So you doing your master's, so you'll graduate in
In
July.
June, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
My oldest daughter is graduating in June from university from a local university here. So good
Nice.
times.
Yeah. And I mean, if I'm not doing that in my like incredibly limited other time, I am probably reading, playing video games, or going to sporting events.
What sort of sporting events do you like?
I am a huge hockey fan in true Canadian fashion. I'm a huge fan of the Toronto Scepters, which is our like professional women's team. I like going to, I can't afford to go to Toronto Maple Leafs games because they're too expensive. I'm also not that big a fan. I'm a bigger fan of another team in the NHL. Um, but sometimes I'll go to like the lower league games because they're cheaper and
Yeah,
they're more fun.
yeah.
Um, Huge baseball fan, Toronto Blue Jays, of course. So I like to go to their games in the summertime. And then, I mean, otherwise, like, I love going to, like, if there's like an event in town that's, uh, like when we had a couple years ago, we had like the Pan Am games, went to a bunch of those events. It's like sports. It's like, I like
Well, you
watching
do
people
have
be
a
really
life
good at their
outside
thing.
of standards and work, which is
Yeah.
an important thing. I was just taken by that. What's that little figure you've got to on your in your bookcase? Um, it's like a Funko Pop looking thing. No, no,
Oh, this?
yeah.
This is a Charlie Brown themed Blue Jays bobblehead.
Aha.
Yes,
Why not?
I have a lot of Blue Jays merchandise, as you can imagine.
Yeah. My youngest daughter's got like I don't know more than 100 Funko Pops of she like every Funko Pop associated with the Game of Thrones, that sort of thing.
That
So
is impressive. Yeah,
which
I
used to
do not have
be
that many.
Yeah, it used to be in my in this room, but then we swapped rooms. But she also loves building Lego as well. So our whole house is a mausoleum or museum filled with Lego. Well, it's good that because I didn't actually know whether that was a real background, but indeed it is.
Is the
Yeah.
real background is my real collection of both junk and books.
Uh, And do you live in, well, you don't have to say, where exactly where you live, but you live in Toronto?
I live in Toronto. I live in the city,
Oh,
um,
nice.
not just in a suburb and just tell people that I live in Toronto.
Yeah. But it must be expensive though. I mean, it's expensive to live there.
It is expensive to live here. I don't know how we manage it, but it also is like it makes the most sense. We both like both my partner and I live and work downtown. So
Oh, well,
I
that,
also
yeah.
I grew up in the suburbs of a city called Mississauga, which is just outside of Toronto, and spent every free minute going into the city that I could as a teenager.
Yeah.
And so I knew like as soon as I had like adult money that it did not matter. I was gonna move downtown. I couldn't stay in the suburbs a minute longer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as I say, when I come over, I generally stay in the city around about. I love walking around Toronto. It's a great town.
I'm obsessed. I've, standards results in you traveling to a lot of very exotic and beautiful cities around the world, which sounds very romantic, I think, to people when you tell them about it, until you tell them that I've just seen like the e- most interesting hotel conference rooms in a
Yeah,
variety of very
exactly.
cool
Yeah,
cities. But I always get excited to come home to Toronto because as much as I've loved every place I've been, home is home is my favorite.
home is where the heart is, so they say. Are you planning on going to TPAC in November this year in Dublin?
I'm hoping, I'm not sure if I will be able to, but I'm hoping to because I mean, I haven't been to Dublin since my first year of university. And I was there for like, I think 48 hours and wasn't sober for most of those. So
Yeah.
I'd like to actually see the city this time.
Well, yeah. If you go to TPAC, you'll just be in the hotel. You know, you're not allowed to go out.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, we're not allowed to TPAC. They lock the doors when we get
I
in
mean,
there. So,
yeah, I would. I'm hopefully I'm going to go because also one of the people that I used to work with, a guy called Charlie Pike, who was part owner of TPG at the time, he lives in County Wicklow, which is just south of Dublin. Beautiful
yeah.
area. I'd like to visit him, but we'll see because
Yeah,
because XSUTO and TPAC very close together, I think, in
I
time.
think so. They're like a
Yeah,
week apart
October.
from each
So
other.
yeah, we'll wait and see. And things like do you get encouraged to talk about what you do?
Yes. That is another reason I think I've been enjoying my time there is the like encouragement and kind of push for us to, I think, present
Well, that's good.
externally.
Yeah.
So I was at CSUN, presented with my colleagues at CSUN, which was
And
really
how was
fun. I'd
that?
never been to CSUN.
Oh, hadn't you?
Um,
Well, you picked
yeah,
a bad year, but it's still
it
a
was
good conference.
it was a good time. I had a good time.
I'm sure
It
you
was an
did.
amazing experience. I so we gave a talk about AI and our experience using it for a specific project. And leading up to it, my colleague and I were writing it, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, are people going to think we're like really negative about this?" Because we added a lot of caveats, and we didn't realize that by doing that, we would uh, write one of the like more honest talks about AI that was given at the conference. We got a lot of great feedback about people really appreciating like us being realistic about our experience
So is
and
that
like talking
available?
about the pitfalls. It
You
is available. I don't have a recording of it, but our slides are online, so
yeah,
you can get
well,
it from our slides.
yeah. Um, I'll get you to just send me the slides or send me a
Yeah,
link to
for
the
sure.
slides because yeah, I like to collect a few things to put on the post when I publish. Um,
Hmm.
oh, well, that's really good because I mean, it's always been a thing with me that sharing the knowledge and getting and being collegiate about is because the aim I think the aim is to make things more accessible, and you don't make things more accessible by holding knowledge back from people.
Yeah, this is a big thing that I am really concerned about with like in our industry is I think when we get together interpersonally, like if you're just like you see someone and you're chatting with someone, I've had like just amazing conversations where we're talking about our programs or we're talking about like the challenges we're having, but we can't seem to do that at like a in a more organized
Yeah.
fashion. And I think a lot of like it is very strange. I find like how secretive some companies can be about their accessibility programs or like even sometimes getting an answer about like, hey, how many people do you have employed? who do accessibility, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh well, it's distributed, and you're like, okay, well then how many full-time and part-time, like, how many people have any percentage of
Yeah.
their job description? And it's like, no, like, it's helpful information, because I think like it is really hard to say like, is your team the right size, because you have no way to
Yeah.
compare.
No.
Is my team structured the right way? Do I have the right people in the right places? Because it's near impossible, unless you work at another company, to know like, oh well, this team is structured like
Yeah.
this team is structured like this. And I don't get why we have to be so secretive about these things, because it only helps each other to
So do you
like.
find that as a general thing, like many companies are secretive? Or, I mean, because when you started talking, I immediately thought of Apple, because Apple doesn't allow people to say anything.
Yeah, I think it's especially true, I find, about accessibility for some reason, and I
Yeah.
think it's because of like the legal landscape, and especially in the US, like not as much in Canada. The Canadian
Yeah.
legal landscape's very different. And obviously we have Europe now too. But because of that, like, risk around litigation, people are incredibly, you know, tight-lipped about anything that could invite like a lawsuit. Like if you're too public about like the gaps in your program,
Yeah.
or areas that you would wish you were doing better in, I think there's like this impression that, oh, if I say that in a public forum, someone's going to jump up, run out of the room, and call their lawyer and be like, let's, we're suing for,
Yeah.
they said they have problems with their menus, like, you know
Yeah.
and it's like, for one thing, that's not really the case. And it's also like, hey, there's ways to have these conversations without
Um,
that risk.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, it's, if you were talking about problems that you were encountering in the process of fixing stuff or create, I mean, how can you be knocked around for that? But yeah, I mean, Apple are just weird as far as I'm concerned. Um, but yeah, but I have found, yeah, depending on, I think you're probably right. It's got something to do with the the culture of the legalistic culture of American companies in particular.
yeah.
But
I mean, it's hard too in like accessibility world, because lawmakers make these legal frameworks, and people who work in accessibility actually use these frameworks, and we have two very different opinions on
yeah,
how these things work. And but of course the lawmakers write the laws, and so you end up in these awful situations where it's like, well, we have to be 100% conformant, we have to be 100% compliant.
yeah,
And meanwhile every professional is like, there is no such thing as 100%.
100%. Well,
you know
that's, I mean, that's part of the fault of that is down to the way WCAG has been structured. That you either, any issue that's found, you either fix or you fail. It just,
yeah.
it's not realistic. And I think part of WCAG 3 will be, that the conformance model will be tweaked. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say that people shouldn't fix everything, but there's some things that, prioritize. Well, the people prioritize anyway. I mean, when we do our assessments, we provide our ideas about the prioritization. If this, it's like there being a typo in a document and there being a mistruth. You get rid of the mistruth before you tackle the typo. I mean, just makes sense.
Yeah.
But
No, it's a really weird like environment we kind of find ourselves in, where um everything is treated like an emergency,
yeah,
which is like, it's like, oh, you have to fix this like bit of link text that is like at the very bottom of the page, that it's not perfect, it says learn more or something, and
yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's like, you're not conformant because of that. And it's like,
yeah,
I would much rather focus on the fact that like the usability of our like top navigation is conformant but sucks. Like, you know,
yeah, yeah,
I rather deal with these bigger problems that actually impact the day-to-day function of my site or my product, than chasing after like, oh, I don't know, like
Yeah. Well,
images with text.
that is part of the issue with getting third party to assess and using automated tools and all these things is you get a slew of information, but you don't, but you got so much that it's overload. So you don't really know what to
Mhm.
do with it. So you need to be able to sort it into priorities and all those things. And you need to be able to sort, get rid of the false positives, which always creep into things. I mean, I,
Yeah.
I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but as you realize that we pride ourselves on not using automated tools in order to do site-wide stuff, and the the issues that we raise are pretty strictly based upon the interpretation of WCAG.
Mhm.
So, but based on a strict interpretation, not that, oh, I wish that it would be, because especially, in the legal framework, that if you're saying it fails X, but in fact it doesn't fail X, or it's, success to X, it's just your interpretation of it, which is not grounded in the reality of it. You're going to end up screwing around, screwing over the people that you're doing the work for.
Yeah.
So,
I think the biggest thing that I was fighting for it for a while and kind of got tired, but I know other people are still fighting for it in WCAG 3 is like a much more flexible and context appropriate conformance model that reflects the fact that like, and I think we can go even further with this, but I don't know how far I'll get with this, where like every website is different. Different business areas have different needs and different priorities. There are things that have a much higher impact on usability than others.
yep,
And I would much rather be able to put my time and energy into the things that most impact the usability of my site for people with disabilities than getting lost in a lot of really small details
yeah,
that you're chasing after me to be like, but you have to be 100% and to be 100% compliant, you must do all this like not inconsequential stuff,
but
but
busy
not
work,
nearly as
some of it,
important
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And of course, the problem is like having those conversations about flexibility and introducing like opportunities for people to like be more in one focus on one thing than another like almost inevitably results in someone accusing you of not caring about insert disability group here.
yeah.
And it's like
Why do you
that's
hate
not
people
what
with
I'm
disabilities?
saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is a fractious space to be in, but it's still worthwhile trying to improve, because
Yeah.
what I hear from Andrew Kirkpatrick, who and Shardy, who are also members of the working group. What I hear from them when is talking about the practicalities of basically no site passes WCAG. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we need a lot more representation from people that are like and representation not only just like in like that they're there in the meeting or that they're like on the participants list, but like active participation. And I'm guilty of this myself, of like people who are doing this every day and saying like, hey, I have to deal with 100 bugs and it's driving my developers insane because a bunch of them are, P4 trivial
yeah,
things, and I'm demanding that they have to do this when I could be like using their time to, address these usability issues that are not technically WCAG failures,
yeah,
but and it's like I want a system like that. But I think we also like there needs to be a bunch of us who are in that world probably screaming screaming from the rooftops for it.
well,
And it's
I think
hard. It gets exhausting.
there's a fair way to go on that. I think there's going to be some virtual meeting for the conformance subgroup. It's over a couple of
I think
days.
so. Yeah.
So yeah, I put my hand up for it because I was interested. But at the same time, yeah, I find it a hard slog in that with certain people in that group.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. I'll be there.
It'd be fun. We'll be,
Big,
yeah, I gotta check my emails and maybe I'll be there too. I said I was
yeah,
gonna do it the last time and then I preserved my mental health.
yeah. Well, I'll just, yeah. I mean, I'll just sit in the cheap seats and listen to other people. Um, okay. Oh, what's the time? How are we going for
I
time?
have to run actually, yeah.
Ah, well,
Just realized.
well,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You have to stay here for at least another hour and a half. No, no, it's just 5 past. Thank you, Wendy. It's been really nice to speak to you. I don't think what I was going to say is that I've met you various times, but I don't think I've ever actually had a conversation with you. Um, you were, which is my fault, not yours. It's really nice to converse with you, and when I hopefully I'll see you in the XSBTO.
Hopefully. It was great
Yeah,
talking to you.
yeah. Thanks, Wendy. I'll send. Oh, I was going to. I almost forgot. Choose something from HTML and tell me what it is and give me your mailing address and it'll be on its way. Okay?
Okay. Ooh,
All right?
exciting.
Yeah. And
All right.
yeah, it's lovely to talk to you.
All right. It was great talking to you too. I'll have a
Okay.
great rest of your evening, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's 6 o'clock here.
All right. Bye.
Bye.